making it such a strange word, but I remember being in the Jesus culture offices. This was probably about 2 years into um, being a part of the Jesus culture movement. And Bill Johnson came in to talk to us. And he had just got back from South Korea, a trip that he did out there. And I had been looking through, I think it was like Christianity Today magazine, or Charisma, or one of the
Yeah.
Christian magazines. And I was looking through this article that they had done on Jesus culture. And I'm looking through it, and I remember them mentioning every single music artist except me. And at the time it was like there was only like a few of us. And so
Right.
I'm like, oh, they didn't say my name. I'm not in there. And it was like an irritating thing. And Bill came in, and he's speaking to the entire crew, and he's talking about this trip that he just went on. And he said that when I was there, they would have these security guards. So they have three people in front of them, three on either side, and three in the back. And people like were kind of trying to like get him to pray for them or whatever, but they
Mhm.
like would not let him. They wouldn't let him out of his sight.
Mhm.
And he felt like from the Lord that he was just grieved. His heart was grieved. And he came and he's talking to us, and he said, I need you to celebrate. I need you to rejoice every time that your name's not in the article. This is what he said.
Wow.
Every
Yeah.
time your name's not in the article, every time it's not you promoted, every time it's not you the one that's seen on stage, because just rejoice that you can stay hidden a little bit longer.
Wow.
And when he said that, I think for me in that moment, being irritated for being hidden, kind of missed the beauty of what he was saying in its entirety. But since then, I've had moments of pretty profound recognition. And I think everybody here would say, hey, like, and nobody here would say, I want to be insignificant. For the rest of my life, I would prefer just to be insignificant and nobody ever know. No,
Totally.
I don't think anybody would say that. And if you do say that, I believe you're lying.
Right.
I think we're designed to be significant and
Mhm.
to partner with God and accomplish incredible things. And so I've had these moments where I felt profoundly significant and profoundly like known by people around me. Like I've ridden some serious waves of the favor of man, but when it's come down to it, um, I just want to encourage everybody. Like hiddenness is incredibly valuable. It's like you can't look at an oak tree and then despise the seeds. Like you just can't do that. I I um I was looking at an oak seed the other day, realizing this thing is incredibly small, but it is loaded with potential. And the people that look at these things and they're like, oh, it's just so lame. It's barely anything. They just aren't actually seeing the beauty of hiddenness. And what these seeds have to do is go into the ground and die before they can actually become
Mm.
what they're supposed to be. And then they incredibly reproduce other seeds with countless immeasurable potential. And just thinking about how brilliant hiddenness actually is, even though it's irritating.
Yeah.
It's irritating.
Totally.
It's like itchy because you were created for significance. So hiddenness is itchy. And one thing
Wow.
that God has been teaching me in this point in my life is to stop hiding myself. And here's like my this will be just a tiny little tangent, but
This is
if
great. This is awesome.
okay, great. But if you are in a position and there's doors opening up for you and the favor of man really is happening, don't hide yourself because you think that that's holy. It's not holy to hide yourself. If God wants to hide you, he will hide you. And
Hmm.
in his hiddenness, that's holy. And
Wow.
submitting to the season that God has for you is holy. Um, Not just thinking like, oh, don't look at me, don't see me. I think I've confused the two many times in my life and thought, oh, it's better just to not be seen. And oh, but it's in reality, what is God trying to do with your life? Are you submitted to what he's trying to do with your life? And that's been challenge. That's been probably the more challenging thing for somebody with personality like mine, where I can be like, I'm fine in my house planting hydrangeas. So I just be aware of the season, and both can be itchy to different types of personalities. But if you're submitted to Christ and you're saying yes to Christ, then the hiddenness will have purpose